this thing on? I think it is. Well, hi. My name is Tyler. My first YouTube video ever. And yeah, I'm not really sure what it means or what it's going to look like in the future, but I think it's going to be more of a video series, kind of just tracking my progress. And my first video is I want to talk about agoraphobia and what it means to me and what it means to most people. Likely, if anyone ever clicks on this video, it's because they have agoraphobia or they're interested in learning about it. But by definition, agoraphobia is an anxiety disorder that can often develop after one or more panic attacks. Symptoms include fear and avoidance of places, situations that might cause feelings of panic, helplessness, or embarrassment. And that's the clinical definition of agoraphobia. But, it affects people differently. A lot of people have agoraphobia because of social anxiety. A lot of people have it because of panic attacks and whatnot. And that's kind of where I'm at. I don't really have social anxiety. I'm actually a very social person, and I love to get out and do things and have fun with friends and family and meeting new people. That never really bothered me, but the panic attacks is really where mine came from. And yeah, I guess a little bit about what happened was, this all began, I've had anxiety all my life, and I've just never really treated it. Never really gave it a second thought, never really let it get the attention it deserved. And, and over time, it just really just spiraled and got out of control to where it is today. I've been homebound since 2018, and I say homebound loosely because, I've been, over time, I've been able to go and do things. And in the beginning, I was still able to go, 20 minutes away from home and see family and suffer through it. But over the years, it's gotten significantly worse. And now, I can only go about a block from my house. And it is the most irrational thing. And yeah, it is crazy. It's a crazy thing, and I really don't know. I don't know what the future has in store for me. From what I can tell, agoraphobia is an incredibly hard thing to overcome, and a lot of people have it their whole life, and in different levels of severity, of course. Some people can function. Well, there's definitely functioning agoraphobics out there. But most of us are like me. We're essentially stuck at home. And just a moment ago, I was talking about where it kind of started, and it started from me having panic attacks. And I started having daily panic attacks, and it specifically really got debilitating when it started to affect my drives. So I commuted an hour to work every day for years, and it never bothered me. I actually enjoyed it sometimes because it gave me time to listen to podcasts, gave me time to decompress and listen to music. But over time, my anxiety got out of control, and I started having panic attacks. And a lot of those panic attacks happened, actually most of them, happened on my way home. For whatever reason. And I've never had a fear of driving, I've never had a fear of traffic. It just, something happened. I don't know if it was like a claustrophobic type feeling or what. And I apologize if any of this is triggering for you, and I'm sorry. I just like to kind of talk it out. But yeah, and I just noticed myself slowly developing a comfort zone. And agoraphobic people know exactly what I'm talking about. It's, you can imagine kind of like a circle around the map, right? When you're looking at the map and you see a circle of it, and just imagining your comfort level getting smaller and smaller and smaller and closer to your home. And as long as you're in that comfort zone, you're pretty comfortable. You're good. Um, but once you go outside of that comfort zone, you know, panic sets in, and anxiety gets, tougher. And as I started having more and more panic attacks, I noticed that I started to like be like, oh man, I'm 45 minutes from home. What if something happens? And I don't know why home is such a safety net for a lot of us. I think it's because like we feel like it's kind of instinctual, kind of primal, it's like a safety thing. I don't really know where that came, because I mean I still have panic attacks sometimes here, and it's just irrational. This whole thing is irrational, of course, but it's something our body does and our mind does to protect us, I guess. But over time, my comfort zone got smaller and smaller, and I was homebound. And before I know it, I lost my job. I mean, they let me work from home for 6 months, but then they said, "Hey, we need you to come back to work." And of course, I could have gotten. I tried to get doctor approval to say, "Hey, you know, homie ain't doing so good. He needs to work from home." And they're like, "Well, you can't do your job from home," even though I totally could. And funny enough, when the pandemic came through, 2 years later or a year later, everyone worked from home. So funny how that works, I guess. Whatever. But fast forward, here I am, and I think this is going to be kind of like a video journey. If anything, this is just going to be for me to put these videos to track my progress somewhere, instead of it taking space on my phone. And if I meet other people that are struggling with this, that'll be great. I would love to, work through this with other people and learn strategies from people and track my progress. I have gotten so much better. I can't discredit myself. And it's sometimes it's hard for us. I say us because I know the only people watching this, if anyone watches this, is agoraphobic as well, and I know it's hard for us to look at the positives. Where I've gotten so much better, and I have to give myself credit for that. There was a time where I couldn't even stay at home by myself. I was scared. But I've gotten so much better, and look where we're at. So basically, what I'm trying to say is like, never discredit yourself, because you're doing a lot better than you think you are. And again, apologies if any of this is triggering or anything, because I know it can affect people differently. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see where this goes. If anything, this is just going to be a video journal for me to track my progress, see how I'm doing, so I can look back on it and be like, hey, March of 2022, you felt this way. Look at where I'm at now. So yeah, if you have agoraphobia, don't give up. Work through it, get a therapist, work on medication. That helps a lot. And I'm going to go more into that later.